Hello YouTube, Vinyl Community. Wes here checking in with a brand new episode of the Vinyl Survivor. Hope you're all doing well, having a great day, great night, whenever it is you're watching this. This is the Vinyl Survivor show. This is where I talk about albums that I've purchased, give you my thoughts on whether I like them or not, let you know a bit about how they sound, those kind of things. Just sort of my process of bringing things into the house here. Cleaning them up, listening to them, giving them a fair shake, and deciding whether there's something I want to keep in my permanent collection back here, or just something that just wasn't for me. I do a lot of blind buys, I do a lot of thrift store shopping, and pick up a lot of things. So, sort of want to go through and listen to things. First thing I have here to talk about is probably one of the highlights from last year, 2015, that definitely ended up on a lot of end-of-year lists for people, and that was the album by Sufjan Stevens titled Carrie and Lowell. Another just beautiful, brutally beautiful album by Sufjan Stevens. Just incredible stuff. Really did enjoy listening to this quite a bit. A lot to do with his mother and their relationship. Really interesting music and lyrics. And yeah, if you're familiar with Sufjan Stevens, and you probably know this one, black vinyl, not a very good pressing. I'm very disappointed in the pressing quality on this. It's got some non-fill, not a great pressing, but a wonderful album. So definitely check it out digitally if you can. If you haven't already, I'm sure most people at least checked this one out last year, since it did end up on a lot of end-of-year lists, and it was deservedly so. It was one of the best albums of last year. Sufjan Stevens, Carrie and Lowell definitely gets a thumbs up from me. I loved it, and staying in the collection. All right, next up we got some jazz here. Good bit of jazz in this episode today, but a lot of other stuff too. But we have the Ramsey Lewis with Wade in the Water from 1966. Yeah, really nice, smooth, sort of nice piano kind of jazz stuff. Yeah, really, definitely enjoyed this one quite a bit. Good stuff here. And that one is on the Cadet Concept label. Yeah, just some really great piano-based jazz. Really nice stuff. I'm not the biggest jazz fan, but I liked what I heard on this anyway. Maybe it's kind of pedestrian for a real jazz fan, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, really nice stuff. So that one gets a thumbs up from me, and it's staying in the collection. All right, next up, don't often show Zappa stuff here, but I do occasionally pick it up when I find it cheap, and I got this one cheap. This is The Mothers at Fillmore East, 1971. Yeah, fun stuff here, you know, Frank Zappa and the Mothers, and just comedy-based rock music with, you know, he works with all kinds of different kinds of genres and stuff. So there's rock and jazz and just fun stuff, fun to listen to. Really nice clean copy of this I picked up. It's on the Reprise label. So The Mothers at Fillmore, another thumbs up from me. Definitely enjoyed this one quite a bit. And I'm not the biggest Zappa fan. I'm not out there seeking out all the Zappa stuff. But as I said, when I see it cheap, I always pick it up. And it's a fun listen. This was, you know, great musically. And Frank Zappa's a great musician. He surrounds himself with other great musicians. The Mothers are a great group. So they play really well. And it's funny and it's fun. And they're just fun albums to listen to. So that one is thumbs up, staying in the collection. All right, next thing I have to talk about is an early album by the Bee Gees. This is titled Odessa. Definitely an earlier form of the Bee Gees, a lot more progressive, a lot more psychedelic. Really great album from them. Really definitely enjoyed this. This is a modern RTI reissue of this album that I found a really great deal on it. I was glad to find it. They did redo the flocked cover. Really beautifully pressed, beautifully made. It's got a nice heavyweight Stoughton jacket. There is the gatefold on that. Really nice, really replicated the original packaging pretty well, I think. I don't have an original, but I have seen an original. There's what the labels look like on this Modern Reprise reissue. I think this was done 2011, maybe 2010, somewhere in that area. I don't think it has a date on here. Yeah, I don't see a date, but originally released in 1969, and just a classic progressive kind of album, I would say, from Bee Gees. And it's one of those ones where it's an album, it's very much meant to be listened to as a whole piece, and it really flows really well and tells a story, which is nice. So yeah, Bee Gees Odessa, definitely recommend getting this album if you haven't heard it before. If you happen to stumble across an original, they usually don't go for that much. They're not, $10 maybe, somewhere in that range. Not super cheap, but not super expensive either. But just an excellent album, and definitely something that's worth owning. So give it a try if you see it. All right, next up, got a little bit of classic electronica kind of thing. I got an album by Isao Tomita. This is Canon of the Three Stars. Isao Tomita and the Plasma Symphony Orchestra. Isao Tomita is an electronic artist that did classical type pieces with electronic instruments. Did a lot of really interesting things. And this is no different, just very cosmic, electronic, big symphony style stuff, mixing electronic sounds with real orchestras, and kind of blending the two worlds together and making some interesting sounds. And that's on the RCA Red Seal label, as is usual with the Tomita stuff. So yeah, definitely dug this one. It's, Tomita's an artist you see in thrift stores and dollar bins, and it's worth at least trying one or two. If you see one, pick it up and give it a try. I definitely pick them up. Next up, one of the mono reissues. This is Beatles For Sale. As I've said in the past episodes, these mono reissues are just incredible. If you're a Beatles fan, you have to get these. If you're even the least bit interested in the Beatles, spend the money for these. Don't bother trying to find an original, because you're not going to be able to get an original of this quality for this low of a price. These are really reasonably priced, and they sound just incredible. They're completely analog from start to finish. And they just sound amazing. Yeah, can't say enough good things about these. Next up was a blind buy for me. Wasn't sure what I was getting into, just looked interesting, and it wasn't expensive. And that is the group Sound Team. This is sort of an EP titled Work. Kind of punky stuff mixed with electronic music, which I've liked in the past, but for some reason this one just didn't work for me. Did not enjoy this at all. Yeah, didn't dig it that much. There's the gatefold. I should on orange vinyl, which was nice. Another thing that made me want to give it a try, but again, it just didn't work for me. So yeah, Sound Team worked. It's a thumbs down for me. This one is not going to be staying in the collection. And again, a Beatles mono reissue. This is Magical Mystery Tour. Of course, has the booklet inside and everything. Nice heavyweight Stoughton style jacket. So yeah, that one's obviously keeper. Thumbs up, staying in the collection. Almost have all of the mono reissues now. All right, next thing you have is a little bit more jazz, but more of a modern kind of fusion kind of jazz. This is Lyle Mays with Street Dreams. Lyle Mays was the keyboardist for the Pat Metheny group, which I do really like Pat Metheny group as well. This is really good. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. He's got Bill Frisell plays on here, Steve Gadd. Good stuff. If you like modern sort of fusiony jazz stuff, you're willing to experiment with it a little bit, I definitely recommend this. This is really good. Really enjoyed it. It's very sort of Sunday morning kind of jazz, as I've said in the past, with this kind of 80s and on fusion kind of stuff. But it's really nice and really, really well played and really fun to listen to. And that's on the Geffen Records label. Nice copy of that. So yeah, that's Lyle May's Street Dreams. This was released in 1988 is the date on that one. And yeah, dug this one quite a bit. So it's a thumbs up, staying in the collection. And last but definitely not least, staying strongly in the jazz genre here, we have Miles Davis's classic In a Silent Way. Yeah, classic of Miles Davis's catalog. Definitely a well-loved piece, and I can see why I love this one too. Just beautiful, beautiful, heart-wrenching kind of jazz kind of stuff, and a killer lineup here. Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, Wayne Shorter, Dave Holland, Joseph Zawinul, John McLaughlin, and Tony Williams. So, just yeah, you couldn't have a better lineup hardly. That's on a 2i stereo label. Pretty nice. So yeah, Miles Davis, In a Silent Way. Going to close out this episode of the Vinyl Survivor. All of them survived but one, so another great episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave me some comments down below. Give me a like and subscribe if you aren't already to be kept up to date with future episodes of the Vinyl Survivor and other vinyl-related videos I do here on the channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time. Cheers.